Okay, we're recording. Good, good, good. Sharing. Sweet. All right. Making sure all this is working okay. Loading, loading. Do, 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 do. Yay! All right. Let's get started, shall we? I'm so excited that you guys are here today. I'm very excited to talk about this very near and dear topic that we're going to chit chat about. Today, we are actually going to be talking about female hormones and some ways that we can naturally go forward. So, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Jen. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate that have been helping people for almost 4 years to achieve health using essential oils, natural solutions, and eating. I am also a health coach that is currently almost certified. Yes, very excited about that. To be able to help you with some great tools, tips, and tricks in regarding the health coaching. So let's move forward for today. I've got 4 things I want to be able to give to you today. First off, if you're here live with me throughout the entire time, after the recording gets off, we will be doing a live Q&A so that way you can ask and have all of your questions answered. So with that being said, please type out your questions that you have in the chat box of the Zoom, so that way you don't forget your questions, and then or write them down or whatever, and then we will do that at the end. So that's the first thing that I'm going to guarantee you for today, is that I will answer all of your questions, have a live Q&A with kind of like a little private coaching on today's subject. And then, of course, if you have any other essential oil needs or questions, also always we will answer those too. The second thing that I would like to guarantee for you is that I will be emailing you the replay of this lesson. So that way you can go back and maybe jot down some notes, or maybe you didn't hear something the first time, you need to hear it again, or whatnot. So that will come into your email this evening, probably about 5 o'clock-ish. So that way that's there for you. The third thing that I'm going to guarantee you today is that I will be giving you my hormone regimen that has been helping me. And of course, just like everything else in this world, we are always changing. And of course, that's the way the world is. Plants change all the time due to their environment and circumstances. So do we. So I'm happy to give you what is working for me at this time for my hormone balancing. And the fourth thing that I'm going to give to you is an offer. I do have an offer for you. So stay until the end so that way you can experience that offer too. So let me just get into a little bit about my story of my hormones and what I have been experiencing. And then as we continue through today's lesson, we will also just chit chat a little bit more about, some things that I have helped with people and have in my experience in coaching others as well. So first off, I am a 42-year-old female, and I have twin boys that are 10. So I had them at 32. And I was always growing up as a young girl into college. I always had a very regular period with no PMS. I was very, very lucky. I was on birth control for several years because my mama told me that if I ever got pregnant, I would have twins. Little did she know that when it was time to have kids, we had twins. So with that being said, I was on hormone therapy for birth control for many, many years, basically from 18 until 31-ish. And then I went, after I had the boys, I went back on the same birth control that I had been on, and I went absolutely wackadoodle. My brain was really whacked. My hormones were so fluctuated, so crazy. And then this thing called work-life balance that really doesn't happen, really messed up with my hormones. So with that, in walked doTERRA into my life, and I was realizing what was in our world today, and what is in our homes, all of our homes, and how that all affected my hormones. In turn, I'm finding that a lot of people are experiencing the same things. I exercise 7 days a week, high intensity workouts, and I was not changing weight at all. I was sitting right about 195 pounds, and I looked very unhealthy to me. So, you know, I mean, we are our own worst critic, but I can work out as much as I want to or not work out at all, and I was still sitting at that weight. So my, metabolism had really slowed, but it also plays on our hormones. So let's get started. So that's a little story about me. Currently, I just want to let you know I'm sitting at about 175 pounds right now. And I sleep amazingly. My stress level is down. I'm still having that work-life balance that we all do. I have kids that are going crazy in sports, like every parent does. I mean, if you have kids, or even if you don't have kids, you still got stress, and you still have life to live. So, with that being said, let's get started in today's lesson, shall we? So, what are a hormone? So, a hormone are just chemicals in our bodies that are produced by the endocrine system. And our circulatory system transports those chemicals to regulate other parts of the body. For today's subject, we're really going to talk just basically about three main hormones: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. The body produces these hormones to serve as messengers to assist in the function of regulation of the body's digestion, metabolism, breathing, sleep, movement, reproduction, stress, growth, and mood. So there are so many hormones that are in our body today that kind of go kind of wackadoodle. But as females, the main three that we're going to talk about, like I said today, is going to be just basically estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Yes, we females do have testosterone. And yes, males do have estrogen and progesterone. Just they're made in different parts of their body, unlike in ours, okay? So to better understand the hormone imbalances, we must first take a look at the function of our hormones. The first one that we're going to talk about today is estrogen. So estrogen stimulates the growth of tissue, such as the development of breast and reproductive organs, and ensures their function. In the brain, it boosts the synthesis and function of the neurotransmitters that affect sleep, mood, memory, libido, and cognitive functions such as learning and attention span. Now, I want to give you there's three actually different types of estrogen. And in this, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. But if you've hung out with me and ever at all, I'm always going to give you the fourth grade science, because we need to know our science in order to really understand how things work. So let me back you up a little bit and just tell you that there's three forms of estrogen that are found today. The first form is our silent estrogen. It is the quiet kid on the playground. That is the estrogen that we make in our body, okay? The second kind of estrogen is going to be our phytoestrogens. Now, phyto means plants. So these are naturally formed estrogens that are found in plants. This is the hero on the playground. I know you're probably thinking, what's up with the playground? Stick with me, please, because I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story of how these estrogens work. Okay? Now, the third kind of estrogen is called xenoestrogen. Xenoestrogens are found in things like Teflon, plastics, preservatives, food additives, cosmetics, household items like laundry soap, hand soap, dishwasher soap, and cleaning products found in our home. And those xenoestrogens are known as the bully on the playground. Okay, so let's get back to that fourth grade science. And I want you to think of your body as a cell. Okay, we're just going to talk about a cell. And these cells have receptor sites on them. Let's call those fingers. Okay, those receptor sites are looking for estrogen. And they really don't care what kind of estrogen it is. They just need estrogen. Okay, so the shy kid, remember the shy kid on the playground is the naturally formed estrogen that is found in our body that we make. And it wants to bind to that receptor site, to that finger. Okay, we got naturally formed, natural estrogen in our bodies with the receptor sites, and that really want to match. Okay. However, because in our body we have these things called xenoestrogens, those xenoestrogens, being the bully on the playground, kicks out that shy estrogen, that naturally produced in our bodies type of estrogen. Okay? And that bully says, get out of the way, you natural estrogen, you. And that xenoestrogen says, oh, thank you, I'm going to attach to this receptor site, and I'm going to just like it right here. Well, this is where the hero on the playground really matters. Okay, and that is going to be the phytoestrogen. Okay, so when okay, I'm sorry, I want to really make sure that I hone in on my notes here too. So sorry about that. But I wanted to let you know that the xenoestrogens, okay, so the phytoestrogens actually are the hero of the playground because they will knock the xenoestrogens out off of the receptor site and the phytoestrogens will actually attach to the receptor sites. So just keep in mind that xenoestrogens, since they do push the natural estrogen away, xenoestrogens are metabolized. When they are metabolized, we have a higher rate of cancer, estrogen dominance, and candida gut. And candida gut candida is basically part of our microflora, and it's the bad type of microflora that can give us a lot of our digestive issues. So we really want that hero of the playground, that phytoestrogen, to help knock out the xenoestrogens so that way we can get rid of all the fake estrogen that's in our body. Okay? We'll talk a little bit more about the phytoestrogens later on. Okay? So phytoestrogens actually can balance and support estrogen and progesterone. So let's get into progesterone. Progesterone is made primarily by the ovaries, the adrenal glands, the peripheral nerves, and the brain cells also produce lesser amounts of progesterone. Hence why we can find progesterone in the male, in men. Progesterone ensures the development and function of breasts and female reproduction system. But it also helps in the brain. The progesterone binds to certain receptors to exert a calming, sedative effect in the body, which improves sleep and also protects the brain against seizures. Okay. Now, testosterone for today is manufactured in women by the ovaries and adrenal glands, in which enhances libido and the sexual response to our partner. It also strengthens the ligaments in our muscles, builds muscle tone and bone, and assists the brain function with the association for that assertive behavior. Sometimes we call that type A personality. Okay. All right. Oh, I noticed that my little thing is kind of like in the way of my slide. There we go. Let's move that, shall we? There we go. All right. Balancing of progesterone and estrogen is kind of a little bit of a dance. It is very, very delicate and sometimes can get a little bit out of whack. While testosterone does play a role in balancing sex hormones, the main culprit when it comes to the imbalance is progesterone and estrogen. So when we really look at, there's so many causes. And I really want to take this time to kind of a little educate you on, there's many causes. As I talked a little bit about those xenoestrogens, of where we can find those, you know, those plastic bottles, cosmetics, Teflon, food additives, food preservatives, what else? Household products, like everything in your laundry, your bathroom, that kind of stuff. So I want to really educate you on a website that I find to be very, very helpful. And it's called ewg.org. So the funny thing is when I'm using that website, I really, really like to look at, or actually bring up Google and pull out a product in my home. And so, for instance, Tide laundry detergent. I used to use Tide laundry detergent, and what I would put in my Google search bar is Tide with bleach, laundry detergent, EWG. Press enter, and then Google will have all the search engine results. And I want to look for the one that is from ewg.org. Click on that. When you're looking at that, it gives you a list of all the ingredients, and then it will give you a grade value of that product in your home. And so when you're looking at things, you can see what will have that is called an endocrine disruptor. And I really want you to pay attention to those products that have things with ingredients that are listed as an endocrine disruptor. Because remember, even though let's say we're washing clothes, okay? Even though we're washing clothes, and when you put your clothes on, you can still smell a fragrance, and you will breathe. If you're smelling a fragrance from your clothes, you are breathing or inhaling that type of chemical or fragrance or smell. And when you are breathing that in, that means you are actually ingesting. To inhale something or breathe into something, you are actually ingesting. You do not have to ingest something via mouth. You can ingest by smell or placing onto your skin. So when you're looking at your ingredients in your home or your products that you have in your home, really, really look at the things that you have in your home and look at the ingredients one by one, because it all comes out. It's a very nice little thing, website and it will just say on there, endocrine disruptor. Go after that. That is what I did to really kind of help with my hormones and balancing my hormones. Because let me tell you, I was a wackadoodle. And even my husband has said, ooh, there are some things that are just not well with me. So I don't no longer use Tide with bleach, because there was a high instance of many ingredients in that formula that were and are hormone disruptors. So let's talk about hand soap. Hand soap, same thing. Dawn dish washing liquid, EWG. Put it on there. And remember, when you're washing your dishes, if you are not using any type of like a latex glove or whatnot, you are ingesting that soap into your skin, because your skin is literally, it's the largest organ in your body. It is meant to protect your body, but it does absorb things, just like your lotions in your that you put onto your skin as well. So, and it's amazing to see how much is on EWG. Now, a lot of people will ask me, who runs EWG? EWG is actually ran by a third party. It's not government ran. It has nothing to do with the government, but it is ran by a third party. So you can get some more, little bit less biased information from there. Okay? And EWG even has your city's water levels, you know, like what the heck is in your water. There's actually the your city water, your tap water, you can look up on EWG. I've been able to look at cosmetics. I've been able to look at doTERRA products. I've been able to look at all the things that are in my home. It's been phenomenal information. Okay. So I know a lot of you, and I know I was one of those people that was kind of like, well, do I have hormone imbalance? Are my hormones not in check? So my question to you is, do you have emotional stress? Do you have any type of pain or any type of inflammation? Do you have any dietary issues? I personally do not have a gallbladder because I got gallstones. Have you taken any type of synthetic hormones like birth control? How about your environment? Have you looked at your environment? We just got done talking a little bit about looking at the things that are inside your home, of how you can clean up your home. To me, that's your sanctuary, so you might as well clean it up. Do you use cosmetics that are kind of hidden? That's a lot of chemicals that we as females put on our face every day. If we put it on our face, we're ingesting those chemicals too. So are you using clean cosmetics? So whatever the cause of the imbalance, the information is always there. But I really want to talk a little bit about inflammation at this time. So inflammation is normal. We all have it, but it's what our body does with that inflammation. So I want you to picture a little bit about when you have inflammation, it kind of goes up, our response kind of goes up and down like a roller coaster, okay? So when our inflammation goes up, our body will send the hormones to take care of that inflammation, no matter what it is. And if our body is working correctly, our bodies will be able to combat that inflammation, so that way we can get back to homeostasis or a low point of inflammation. That is a normal response. Our body should be able to really kind of hone in on the times when we're having inflammation or stress response, okay? A lot of people will use stress and inflammation at the same time. Whole body stress and inflammation are kind of interchangeable. So when we are going through our life, and let's say somebody cuts you off, your stress response will go up. And that means you have inflammation. And now your body will send out another hormone to combat that stress. And then you kind of, after you say a few choice words, then you I probably would. A few choice words, and then, except if my kids are in the car, and then I calm down, then your body will return back to normal, okay? And that is a normal response to inflammation or stress response. Where we get into trouble is that when our body experiences stress over long periods of time, you get stressed, and then you get more stressed, and then you get more stressed, and then you get more stress over periods of time. And what happens is our body cannot combat that. And then our hormones will be going nuts because it's trying to really get to our root cause of the whole body stress or the whole body inflammation. So that is the biggest thing. So we need to actually help our bodies to return back to normal by decreasing our toxins that we are experiencing in our world, whether it's emotional toxins or dietary toxins or our synthetic hormones or even the environment in our home. So when you're targeting, let's say, your laundry room to clean up the toxins in your that you're washing your clothes in, when you target that, then you end up helping your body from not breathing the toxic chemicals all day long, or even sleeping in, because you still wash your sheets in these types of chemicals, and then you're not breathing in those chemicals that's adding to the response or inflammation response to your body. And you're actually using clean products in your home, then your body will be able to go back to the homeostasis, and then we will go back to the ebb and flow of the normal inflammation or stress response of our bodies. So I hope that's helpful for you of, like, how do we handle pain, inflammation, whole body stress, and how does that affect our hormonal imbalance? All right, so how is our diet affecting the hormones? So, I know, it can be, it's so hard to eat good, and I know, because when we're a busy family too, and it's sometimes we're like, well, I don't really have time to go out and make dinner, so I'm going to grab a bite to eat out. But what are we doing? So when we are really thinking about, I'm going to back you up a little bit. Yep, we're good. So by staying away from the white flour or the refined carbohydrates, you want to have maybe like whole oats, like for instance, oats, like steel cut oats or whole oats, organic oats, instead of maybe the 1 minute oats. Those are refined. Caffeine in large amounts. I am of the opinion that caffeine is a person to person basis. I'm a 1 cup caffeine person, cup in the morning, but that's my beautiful balance for my body, and everybody is very different. Sugars destroy the endocrine system. Now, what does the endocrine system consist of? The endocrine system consists of the hypothalamus, the pituitary, the thyroid, the parathyroid, the adrenals, the pineal gland, and then the reproductive system, depending on if you're male or female. And when you have sugars, it literally just attacks the endocrine system. So if you're hypothyroid or you're Hashimoto's, limiting your sugar intake is very, very important. Okay? So remember, the body requires the best building blocks, and that is our nutrition. Your nutrition, what you intake into your body every day, becomes part of your DNA. So when we ask yourself the question, is this going to help me or hurt me? And that was when I started asking those questions of myself for my food. It was rough, because when I was like, I need that chocolate, well, then I will have some Lily's chocolate, because Lily's chocolate doesn't have a lot of the sugars that other types of chocolate out there have. Okay. So additionally, make sure that your food is of good quality. Okay. Remember that our food does become part of our DNA. So if you don't go to the farmer's market, or if you don't buy organic, if I could just ask you to buy organic of what is called the Dirty Dozen. And that is, those are strawberries, spinach, nectarines, apples, peaches, pears, cherries, grapes, celery, tomatoes, bell peppers, and potatoes. If you did nothing else but just buy those organically, you will decrease your ingestion of pesticides. And that will be very, very helpful for your body. And then, of course, ask yourself, yes, I need that pear, but just buy it organic, okay? Because what happens is the farmers will use either pesticides either in the soil or spray, and those fruits really just take on all the pesticides that are found in either the soil or sprayed onto the plant. And then when they are inside the fruit, and then you go home and you wash the outside of your fruit, it's the pesticides are still in the fruit or the vegetable. And so you're ingesting all those pesticides. So if you don't want to buy organic everything, which, it can be a little bit expensive. I personally find that going to the farmer's market is much cheaper option. And then just sticking with those 12 things, you would help your body immensely. Also, meat and dairy products, those are pumped with lovely things. So eating grass-fed and grass-finished meat, organic chicken, hormone-free pork, nitrate-free pork, that's a very big thing. Pasteurized eggs, not cage-free eggs. Cage-free eggs is, you can have as many chickens and many things. There's a whole thing that you can figure it out on your own. Those will have, pasteurized eggs will have more omegas and more nutrients in the egg. And that's just, it gives you a little bit of helpful. And don't do everything at once. I found that very overwhelming. When I did everything at once, if I did everything at once, very overwhelming. So what I did, I just took one thing at a time in my kitchen. So I said, okay, I'm going to only buy organic of the Dirty Dozen. And that's what I did. That's how I got started with all that. And then I was realizing that it was much cheaper to go to the farmer's market every week because I feed my family's fruits and vegetables for $40. And I live in California. So, and food's expensive here. All right. So let's keep on going with, I can talk for days about diet. Sorry. All right. So breakfast. Breakfast, they say, is the most important meal of the day. I think that's when one person's gold mine is another person's poison, in my opinion. I'm not much of a breakfast eater anymore. I used to, but I do a lot of intermittent fastings now, but just to give myself a little gut reset. But if you are going to use some breakfast, please, have those whole grain oats with some great organic veggies, or organic fruit with some whole milk or whole dairy or whole yogurt. That is always very good. Pasteurized eggs. I like to have, maybe if I'm going to have a breakfast, I'll have some eggs, scrambled eggs with some mushrooms and some kale. That's always really good. Play around with it, whatever you like. When I first got started, breakfast was what I started to change. When I did have breakfast, it used to be cereal and milk. And then I moved to, okay, I want to move to eggs, kale, and mushrooms. And I make a little scramble, and that was very, very helpful. And then now it morphed into, that's the meal that I skip every day. So then lunch. Lunch is always a good time to eat as well. If you are not working from home, then, pack your lunch in the morning or pack it the night before. Maybe make a little bit more dinner. So that way you can pack a little leftover dinner. So that would be your lunch for the day. That's very, very helpful. That I do like to do that and make a little extra dinner. So that way I can take some, for lunch the next day. It just helps with the planning. I know a lot of people will, plan all their lunches for the week, and then they just take it out of their container of the refrigerator, and then they're good to go. It makes it easy to grab, reheat, and eat. Dinner is, I thank my mother every day that we could do anything we wanted to as long as we were seated at the kitchen at 6 o'clock every day. And that was our time to be as a family. And I think that's kind of lost in our world today, is that family time, having dinner as a family. So get I like to actually plan dinners with the kids and the husband, because sometimes, you know, David will say, "I want tacos." John will go, "I like meatloaf." Okay, I want, you know, whatever, stir fry, or, you know, whatever. But it was nice to be able to have that conversation of what do they want to eat, and then we bring it in together as a family experience. And it's a great time to actually say, "Hey, how the heck were you, and how was your day?" Good laughter. And sometimes dinner in our house is at 9 o'clock at night, because the boys are coming home from practice and they got to finish homework and all that stuff. So, but we take that half hour a day, really connect with our family, and to get being together. Dessert. Heck yeah, I love me some chocolate. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I gotta have some chocolate. But just make it a little bit healthier. I love to use lilies. There's so many recipes on Pinterest or Google or wherever you go for yours. Or like, I love that Facebook group, Tasty, so good. They have a keto tasty Facebook group as well. And I like to have some just choices. But my favorite is grilled pineapple in the summer. So good, so tasty, so sweet and beautiful. Or maybe berries over cream. That's really good too. But of course, chocolate. Love me some chocolate. Lily's is my favorite. Just a little bit less sugar on that. Sleep. I cannot tell you how much sleep is necessary for your body. Holy mackerel. I never knew. I was a shift worker for many years, working the night shift. And let me tell you, sleep is necessary for your body to balance itself. I did a whole YouTube, so search on YouTube about sleep. And I believe it was last month, Sleep 101. Get those Z's to help you. I went through all the things of how to ensure better sleep, whether it's going to be lower the temperature, use blackout curtains, don't eat certain things right before dinner. The whole warm milk myth, actually does kind of work a little bit. But, just try to get your Z's. Get your Z's, okay? Really, really helpful for your hormones. Seeds. In my research for this, I found this to be very, very fascinating. Seeds kept coming up. And the seeds carry certain oils and vitamins and nutrients that all support the body's production and release of and metabolism of hormones. And I found that just to be so awesome. Silly enough, I didn't realize of how much I was adding, like chia seeds to my salads or to my smoothies, and I like to have pumpkin seeds. It's just, flaxseed is so good too. I use that a lot. And it's amazing to find in my research as I was getting ready for this talk that seeds kept coming up in our foods today. I think a lot of people forget about seeds because they're just kind of there, different. But I really wanted to put this in and say, hey, try this out. It's awesome just to sprinkle a little bit on the salad for the afternoon. But flax, pumpkin, sesame, and sunflower seeds are wonderful because the lignans in the sesame seeds and flax seeds bind to the estrogen so the body can release it and let it go. And then, of course, they're also rich in omega-3s and vitamins to help balance hormones as well. Exercise. Exercise is important for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're doing that HIIT workout, going for a 20-minute walk or a 20-minute yoga session. It's so important to get your body up and moving. When I am working on the desk, I set my alarm for 50 minutes. Do some heavy, intense work for 50 minutes. And then I get off my, out from underneath my desk and my paperwork, stretch, move. I'll go for a 20-minute walk up and back to the house. If you can't go outside due to weather because it's really hot or it's snowing, because I know parts of the lovely world gets to be that way, then, do some stretches, some yoga stretches. I love, love, love Yoga by Adriene on YouTube. She's very low key. She doesn't take herself too seriously. She cracks jokes. She's kind of fun. But that has been very, very helpful to also balancing hormones, because you're balancing your stress hormone, which in turns balancing more. All right, alcohol. Now, I'm a wine drinker. And guess what is part of the dirty dozen? Grapes. I know. I was very sad to hear this. So grapes obviously are made of wine, or wine is made of grapes. Sorry, got that backwards. And when I realized that the grapes are a part of the dirty dozens of all that pesticides, that means the beverage that I love so much, because especially, just relax and unwind, or have a great meal with a beautiful cab, or a bottle of bubbly, it's just phenomenal to me. That just makes the meal to me. But just keep that in mind, that you are ingesting those toxins and pesticides. So another reason to be cognizant of where the rest of your diet comes from, and being really diligent on helping support of your hormones. So that way you're balanced, I'm still going to love my wine. That means I still have daily work to do in my body to support the balancing of my hormones. Okay. Yep. I was reading from a Dr. Seha. She's an integrative medical doctor, and she does suggest that alcohol consumption can increase estrogen levels and disrupt progesterone levels as well. So remember, it is all about moderate drinking. So, and moderate from one person is very different to another. So 1 to 2 glasses of wine a week is moderate for me, but maybe 1 glass a day is moderate for you. It's all personal bio-individuality choices. Stress. All right. Meditation. Meditation is amazing for the brain, brain function, reset of the body. And really, meditation doesn't even have to be, an hour. It could be literally sitting at your desk, just taking 3 to 5 big, deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and blow out of your mouth for a count of 8. And by doing that 3-4 times throughout the day, is essential, just to be able to accept, because we have some daily stress that comes at us every day, all day. We're all in front of screens all day, or the person cuts you off and driving in the road or whatnot. But just taking deep cleansing breaths is very, very helpful. So I want you to do me a favor and grab your pencil, grab your paper, because I'm going to give you right now one of those things that I told you that I would deliver to you. And that is my regimen that I use for my body. Now, there are things that I'm going to tell you that I use clean toothpaste. I have already replaced my bathroom products for clean bathroom products that are not endocrine disruptors. I have already cleaned out my laundry products as well, that they're not endocrine disruptors as well. I've also cleaned out my household cleaning products. They are not endocrine disruptors either. I don't have candles. I don't have Glade plugins. I use diffusers with the doTERRA essential oils to add fragrance to my home, because I want clean. I don't want an endocrine disruptor to be entering my body. And my kids. I have young kids, and even though they're boys, I don't want to mess with their endocrine system as well. So with that being said, this is my personal things. I use Lifelong Vitality. That is our daily nutrition pack. It basically bridges the gap of my nutrition that I'm either lacking in my daily diet. And it's all whole food based. So it's a vitamin and mineral supplement with omegas and antioxidants. I also take a Terrazyme through doTERRA that helps break down all the food that I'm intaking so that way my body will actually absorb the nutrients that my body needs. I also take a probiotic through doTERRA called PB Assist. That helps keep the my microbiome in good working order, keeping that candida down. We all have candida, but we want to make sure that we don't have an overgrowth of candida. And that's a whole nother lesson. But I want to keep that at bay. So, if you've been on any type of antibiotics, taken any over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, you do have candida in your body. And you want to keep that at bay. The other thing I do take is phytoestrogen through doTERRA. Remember that remember your phytoestrogen or your your phytoestrogen is the hero in the playground. It's knocking away those xenoestrogens because, there's times everybody lives, so you're exposed to xenoestrogens every single day. Also, I take bone nutrient. When you are taking bone nutrient, that is vitamin D2, D3, boron, calcium, and magnesium, and another one. That nutrient paired with your phytoestrogen, that takes care of most of your hormone balancing in your whole body, which is great. So if you suffer from any type of seasonal blues, like during the winter, when we go through long periods of time without seeing the sun, bone nutrient is essential. I'm one of those people. When I worked in the hospital, there was many months of the year that I would not even see the sun. And let me tell you, I had horrific seasonal blues. So don't do that. The other thing that I use every day is my Superwoman blend. I love this blend of essential oils that I make. And I'm going to give this recipe to you. Basically, all these oils support normal hormone balancing. And it is comprised of clary sage, lavender, geranium, cedarwood, ylang ylang, rose, and jasmine. So in a 10 milliliter roller ball, I will put 12 drops of clary sage, 10 drops of lavender, 5 drops of geranium, 5 drops of cedarwood, 5 drops of ylang ylang, 1 drop of jasmine, and 1 drop of rose. Top that off with fractionated coconut oil. Mix that up. I will apply this oil at least twice a day on my wrist, on the inner creases of my elbows, and on the insides right around of my ankles. So right around the ankle bones. I just draw a little circle and go around. I do that when I brush my teeth twice a day. It sits right next to my toothpaste. I love that oil. I feel so balanced, at ease. It's helping my hormones, supporting my hormones, especially the pulse points that are on the ankles. Those reflex points go directly to my girl parts, and I want those oils to support my hormones as well. I also use clary sage, basil, and an essential oil blend called Past Tense. And I'll use those on when I get really stressed, like the person cutting me off in the road. I will use that. I'll put a drop of clary sage and a drop of basil, and I'll just rub my hands together, cup over my nose and mouth, take a very nice deep breath, put rub the oils right on the back of my neck, and then I'll take the Past Tense roller ball from doTERRA and rub it right over my kidney and adrenal area. Remember, your adrenals sit right on top of your kidneys. So why am I using those 3 oils? Those 3 oils are wonderful to support cortisol balancing. Hence why when I said when I get really, really stressed out, I will just use those 3 oils. And that has really been helpful to just kind of bring me back down to reality, especially when we have those high stress moments. I will also drink half of my body weight in water with a citrus oil. So I have a stainless steel cup right here. I believe this is about 32 ounces. I really aim for 100 ounces of water during the winter. Seriously, I'm lucky to get about 68 ounces in just because I'm not really physically thirsty. So, and I'll add about 3 drops of a citrus oil, whether it's grapefruit or lemon or lime or Slim and Sassy, but that's what I do for my hormone balancing. And then, of course, I've already made the dietary changes with my food. So I try to stay away from the dirty dozen and I eat the clean 15. And that all is on that. Okay. All right. First off, I want you guys not to be so overwhelmed. I know you're like, oh, so where do I start? Don't worry about it. But when you make a change and you do something, I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate your success, okay? Because when you do something, small changes make big results. And I want to celebrate you. So if you choose to do something and you do it and you're like, hey, I've done this for, 7 days. Just do it for 7 days. And this is how I feel. I want to celebrate you. So shoot me an email or send me a message, whether it's via YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Send me a message. I want to celebrate you. I want to give you a virtual high five, or if I see you personally, I want to give you a hug and say, well done. Very excited for you. But celebrate your success. I think we are so busy as a culture looking at what we should do instead of what we have done. So let's look at what we've done and let's celebrate. All right? Celebrate. All right. Now, I want to give you my offer. Okay? I want to give you my offer. And I want to offer you guys each a 50-minute consultation with me privately. If you're not in my area and we can't meet personally, we'll just do it virtually. And there's so many ways to be able to have this 50-minute consultation for free. No obligation at all, just a conversation between the two of us that we can actually go, hey, I will give you some recommendations, okay? And maybe we can work together in the future. But I want to give that offer to you because you are all worth it. You are all worth having a health coach in your corner. You are all worth having a cheerleader that's rooting you on. I've walked in your shoes. I've been there with you, before you, and I would love to help, grab my hand, take my hand, come with me. Free 50-minute consultation of maybe how we can work together. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. It's what is going on here. Why does this do this to me when we're doing this? That is so silly, it doesn't. All right. All right, you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you're live with us, thank you so much. I'm going to stop this recording, and then we're going to resume with the live Q&A between everybody who's here. And again, thank you so much for joining me today. I know that we can heal our bodies. It's just a matter of sharing the information amongst each other and really working together, because we can make a difference in our life with a community. And when we really come together, we can work amazing miracles for each other. So again, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. We can heal ourselves. I believe it. I know it. We can do it. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day. Good night. All right, let's try to get this.